welcome to another exciting and interactive episode of Frenzy 100 podcast. Right here on Cool TV, my name is Dasiraba, and Charlie, we've been talking about this issue for a long time. Some issues were trending on social media where, Charlie, somebody go putting monies and things for a mommy account and things. So we were thinking about it, we're like, most of the times, and law has been going on the side of the women more than the men. And then, Charlie, day in, day out, my parties, then my people go there. Also, we go talk about how. Right here, I don't go do them alone as usual. I've got big men plus some fine, yes, Antoine, as usual. On my right, I have chairman himself.
Kali Slim, aka Asamoah Akimi.
Hey. Okay.
Kali, what for Hakimi na Susana?
Asamoah Akimi. Asamoah Akimi.
What was that one sign?
I will explain.
Ayo.
Well, the name is Ajwaji. Just call me AJ for short.
Okay, and as usual, today the issue will be critical, so we forget some lawyer, so say go into total plus the issues that we dissect. So my far left.
Some was Saint AC.
Yes. Some was Saint AC. Yes, he's a lawyer, so you guys put some respect on the name. Okay, so today we were talking about this issue where we were like the law normally goes on the side of the ladies more than the guys. So but before we start the whole conversation, our topic for the day is why do women gain massively when it comes to divorce in marriages? Before we start, Mr. Lawyer, first question: does the law go on the side of the ladies more than the men?
Not really. It depends on the substantive issue taken to the courts and the merit of the case. Okay. And based on that, a court will make a determination on the matter. Yes.
Okay. So it depends. Sometimes it weighs. So let's go to the main issue on board. Why is it that women actually gain more when it comes to divorce in marriages?
As I said, the matter goes to courts, and based on the merit of the case, the court will determine it. Law has evolved over the years.
Okay.
Some years, they had a fair share of it. They were benefiting because of the position of the law. And that took its inspiration from the case of Mensah versus Mensah.
Okay.
And Mensah versus Mensah's case was a case of where the court indicated that even if a woman contributes domestically to the making of a property, she has a share in it.
Oh, okay.
But it has also evolved again. And now there is a case of which other cases taken to the courts takes its precedence from. And that is fine versus fine.
Cool.
Properties must jointly be acquired before the court can make a determination of that sort.
Okay. Talking about the issue that went on social media, Hakimi story where the man had to save his properties and the names, had to put the properties in the name of the mother and all that. You being a lady, imagine you married to our lawyer here, and then at the point of divorce, the lawyer tells you all my properties are not in my name; they're in the name of another person. How would you feel? And what would, after how would you feel, and after that, what would be your reaction?
Emotionally, it will be confusing. I'm like, why? Is it that my husband doesn't love me? Like, a lot of questions are going to come up. Like, is it that my husband doesn't regard me?
You didn't contribute.
Hold up.
You didn't contribute to the.
Kali, hold up. I said emotionally.
Okay.
I'm going to. Why? Is it that my husband doesn't regard me? Does my husband have any problem with me? Like, I begin to question myself as to why my husband would take that decision in the first place.
Okay.
Logically, if I'm an independent woman myself, that is, I work, I get my own money, that shouldn't bother me because I'm not in for my husband's property in the first place. In case of divorce, the only thing I'm thinking about is the well-being of my children.
Bill Gates' wife left Bill Gates and became a billionaire. The woman wasn't working. She wasn't doing anything. Bill Gates started with Steve Jobs and other friends. The woman wasn't part. But when the woman wanted to divorce Bill Gates, she took away some big billions of dollars. It shouldn't be that way. So in that case, I'll be like Asamoah or Akimi. Asamoah Akimi. So that I can also put Asama properties were in his brother's name, Bafojan. Hakimi's property were in his mother's name. The woman didn't get anything.
Okay.
So, in Asama's case, all what the woman got was the children. I won't let the children see you again. And now someone had to be crying to her, begging, I want to see my children, I want to see my children, I want to see my children.
Okay, so
another case, Udati Lamte, a footballer. Let me go. I'm also a lawyer, boys lawyer. So boys lawyer.
Don't worry,
Udati Lamte, another footballer. The wife cheated was cheating on Udati. And the wife went to court and wanted 50%. Not even more than 50%.
But in Hakimi's case, he's the one who cheated.
Hakimi cheated, but Hakimi is a Muslim. He's
but
entitled to.
One thing you have
he's
to
entitled to.
One thing you have to also ask is that in Odate Lamte's case, was it granted the 50-50?
No, it wasn't granted.
Good. So it is not absolute that when you go to the court and you seek for 50-50 share of the property to be granted. There's no law on that.
Let me come back to Hakimi.
Okay.
One thing people are forgetting is Hakimi is a Muslim. He's an Alhaji. Hakimi is entitled to more women.
If he's entitled, he should marry.
Yeah, maybe he's in the process. You don't just marry. You start from somewhere.
No,
when you start from somewhere before you marry the woman. That's one thing people are forgetting about Hakimi soon. Hakimi is a Muslim.
But Hakimi's issue was like rape.
Yes, that marriage issue. I also tackle it from a different angle. In law we have three kinds of marriage, which is recognized by the law.
Okay.
Muhammad marriage, we have the ordinance marriage and the customary marriage. Okay. So if Hakimi married under ordinance, he can never marry any lady in addition to the lady he has married. If it is under the Islamic or Muhammadi married, fine. But if it is under ordinance, he has no right to do so. If he does that, he has committed what we call bigamy.
In this case, we all saw Hakimi kissing the mom in public. Nobody complained. Now the Hakimi's properties are in the name of the mother, and we are complaining.
Yes.
What if the mother is the first wife?
Yes. So as I indicated, for the woman to fight for the property, was the property acquired as an individual entity by Hakimi, or was the property jointly acquired for the purposes of the marriage?
Footballers, we know say footballers, then they get money. Yeah. Hakimi drawing 16 years. Hakimi has been playing for Real Madrid. He has been playing for top clubs, Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich, Dortmund. He has played for top teams. And when you talk about Hakimi, me for instance, Hakimi started his professional football at the age of 16 when he was at Real Madrid. And in football, if you are not yet 18, you can't handle some things. So I think that's when Hakimi started keeping things in the mother's name. And up to now, he's around 24. He hasn't changed it.
Yes. So
it wasn't intentionally.
So the property was acquired as an individual entity.
Yes.
Not for the purposes of marriage, one.
Yes.
Not jointly acquired, two. Together with so it means that he's entitled to his property.
Yes, and people are complaining, especially the ladies.
I want to.
The ladies will complain. That one, for sure.
You see, when it comes to issues like this, I try not to be feminine. The whole feminine thing. I try to. No, I don't like to speak generally because everyone is entitled to their own opinions.
Okay.
I am not someone. I don't know how they think, so I try to talk from a more personalized point of view. Now, the question here is, I want to ask the lawyer. I know that the court doesn't, regard emotions, like they don't rule things with emotions. Yeah. But is there anything like emotional damages?
Yes.
When it comes to
yes. So if you are seeking for damages and compensation, it's different from you requesting the court to share the property 50-50.
Okay.
In the case of Hakimi, the woman is filing for divorce. In her statement, she can indicate that because I have gone through psychological trauma, and because I have been traumatized, I am asking for what we call damages. I'm also seeking for compensation. It is the responsibility of the court to indicate that maybe the compensation will make it in a form of immovable property. So the properties you have acquired, 1/10 of it, give it to the woman as a compensation. That one is a different thing altogether. Maybe as she has gone through this trauma and she has been damaged, you have to also pay damages to her. It's different from the sharing of the property of 50-50.
Okay, so it's not like she doesn't have a case entirely, but if she should
brought those,
she should put it well, she should draft her case well. She actually has a case. She could file for damages and then compensation instead of going for the property 50-50.
But the whole issue is, why do the ladies always want to get
50%?
Not 50%. They want to get their share of the properties when they are leaving their marriage. That's the whole thing, because it's not only about 50%. More examples. Normally, if the guys want to leave the marriage, they don't fight for properties. But normally, when the ladies want to leave the marriage, they want to take something away.
No, did you just say, I recently heard of a case where the man was married to, like, the woman was the one that is well-to-do, okay? And he actually cheated, married someone else, brought the person back to the house as his sister, and has been living with the woman, with them in the woman's house. Now the lady gets sick, the wife, the legal, the original wife, the first wife, gets sick, and the man leaves the house with his supposed sister, who is actually his second wife. Later they hear the woman is dead, and he comes back fighting for fridge and mattress. How do you explain that case? He comes back fighting for fridge and mattress. Isn't that disgraceful?
That might not decide.
Asamaja had only 600 euros in his account,
and
gave the wife 50%. That's 300 euros, 50 cents. Declared bankrupt.
You see, the Matrimonial Costs Act 1971, Act 367. If you look at Section 20, yes, it says that properties that are jointly acquired should be shared equitably. That word equitable simply means fair and just. And it is the responsibility of the court to determine that in proportionate. So, if properties have been acquired and you are, let's say, fighting for your share of the property, then the court also has a responsibility to also look at the merits of the case. Because if the woman has been in the marriage for so many years and she has contributed domestically, she has also contributed substantially during the marriage, then I think it will be reasonable for her to get a share of it.
So the man can also demand for the mattress and fridge.
Yes, so it is not only about the woman who will request for a sharing or something of that sort. And as I said, it will be the court will determine it. I will give a case, Yeboah versus Yeboah, 1974. If you look at that particular case, the couple were living in London. The man decided to build in Accra here. The woman flew from London to come and support in the building. In fact, she contributed structural deficit. She makes sure that all those structural imbalances were put in place so that the building will be okay. At the end of the day, they were seeking for divorce, and the court indicated that the woman didn't just support, but she substantially contributed.
Okay. So
and the court granted.
So in this case, you see Hakimi's case like this. When they found out that Hakimi had nothing in the bank, or they had to go and share the lady's money. They found out the lady was more independent than the man. So I'm going to stand on the lady's side for now. Why would it be so? Because that properties was also acquired by the lady independently.
Yes.
Why would they share it to the?
Yes. Once
she got it through tips from Hakimi.
Which one is tips?
Oh, if you follow them, you know that when they are going somewhere, you know that this dress the lady is wearing, Hakimi and Chusumano.
Actually, were you there?
Hakimi and Chusumano.
That is your intention, but in the face of the law, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. You have to establish a prima facie evidence to indicate that indeed this is what it is.
Hakimi has receipts.
If not that, forget about it. Yes, the law in the courtroom, there's what we call fair hearing. And that is what we take it from the legal perspective, we call it odi oteram patem.
Hey.
Odi oteram patem. It means
My
that a
new
fair
name
hearing.
that.
And if you look at Article 19 of the 1992 Constitution, it gives fair hearing. So the court will give you that freedom for your case to be heard, but you must prove.
So it was fair for them to share the lady's independent property.
If the properties of the woman were acquired as an independent entity, emphasis independent entity. Secondly, it was not meant for marriage. Then you as a man, you have no share in it.
You have no share in it. Since you've decided to keep yours with your mother, you have no share in mine as well.
Akimi doesn't need any share of the woman's property.
So he shouldn't.
Nah, the woman took the case to court, not Hakimi. So, Hakimi is just focused playing on his football. Just like Asamajan's case. Asamajan didn't want anything. All what he wanted was the children. But the woman had to take the children because of their ages. But now, when they are 18, they will come back to their father.
Yes.
Yeah, that was only Asamajan didn't care about them because the woman is also outside. Also, she also has properties and other stuff. But Asamajan didn't fight for her properties, even though in the law Asamajan can do it. But like mostly the guys are not in for the females' properties. Just the case AJ was talking about, mattress and fridge. Maybe he bought them. He bought he bought a mattress and fridge, so he wants it back. He's not fighting for it. He just wants the mattress and fridge
sometimes the
back.
reason why we see that the women, they have been fighting for, let's say, a bigger share of the property is that sometimes how we think is not how the court decides. Let's say, for instance, I am married to AJ, and we have kids, and we file for divorce. The courts can say that because the children, they are not of age, they must be taken care by the woman. And for that matter, she will play that supervisory role. And for her to play that supervisory role, a share of the property must go to the children. And the woman will play that supervisory role. It doesn't necessarily mean that the property is in the name of the woman.
I choose Christian Achu's case that he didn't make any will. He didn't know he was going to die, and he died. I choose property.
That one we call it interstate. If a person dies without a property, we call it interstate. And the court is clear in sharing of such property. Even the family will have a share. They share it based on percentages. So the family will get their share, the children will get their share, the wife will get her share.
Okay. So talking about the kids and then all that, in a situation where there's divorce, these kids, they're not up to 18, but they are at a certain age where they can speak for themselves, but they are not 18 yet. Let's say 12, 13, 14, 15, and then there's divorce. Can the kids choose where they want to go to?
Yes, if they are of that sound mind, they can say that being under the custody of my father is secure than being under the custody of my mother. And there must also be evidence established to show that. So if that one is established, then where the kids think that they will find protection, then the kids must be taken to.
Since we are talking about divorce, there's this case about Johnny Depp and the wife. I don't know if you guys heard about it.
Yeah, the
where
woman beater.
Yes.
Woman beater. Man beater.
At first, the woman was beating the man?
Yes, and then she filed a case that the man was actually beating her rather. So when they did their investigations and then it went up and then they rather found out that the woman was actually the abusive one. With that case, like should I say that was character defamation or something like that? They had to strip the man of her the endorsements and then the kind of money.
So he was at a great loss then.
Yes.
So that case, if I'm handling that case, I'll split it into two, because there is a domestic violence element of domestic violence. That one will be a different case. And where I also think that I've lost all the things that I was entitled to through the woman's recklessness, I also file for that in a civil manner. So I'll deal with the domestic aspects first. I don't know the jurisdiction of that particular case. Where did it happen?
US.
Yeah. Okay. So for them, they also have their jurisdiction. So the element of violence in our laws is enshrined in the Criminal Offences Act 1960 Act 29. So that one, at the criminal aspect, we'll deal with it. Then with the civil aspect too, the man can file that because of what happened, I have all the things that I'm entitled to, I've lost them. And for that matter, I'm seeking for compensation. Secondly, I'm also seeking for what we call damages, because you have traumatized me in a way, and it has affected, one, my reputation, it has affected my integrity, and it is also having a serious effect on me.
But why is it that when the complaints come first, they have to attack the man first? Why?
It is not always about attacking the man.
Yes.
What you present. For instance, the woman went to report, not the man.
Yes.
Good. So you reporting, you being the complainant, definitely they will take up the matter and investigations will commence.
But it's actually hard to believe that a woman beat up a man.
Yeah, it was. So when the case happened like this, everybody thought, Johnny Depp was a woman beater. No, there was even times that the lady had to throw knife and then they had to cut the man's finger some time back. And then when he went
he the one who was the movie actor?
Yeah. Johnny Depp,
Jack Sparrow.
Yes.
When he went for this interviews and all that, he had a lady friend who asked her, what happened to him? Like, I just smashed my hand or something. There was a glass or something. Like, he was even shy to even come out to come and say that.
Of course, he's supposed to be shy. How can you let your wife beat you?
You see how they position men in a way that you are so masculine that you can't even come out and come and even tell someone this is what's going on in your home. Things happen like that, and then the man can end up dying in the.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So you can call me biased or anything, but I'm not going to speak for the woman in this. When feminists are speaking, they say what a man can do, a woman can do.
That one is a lie.
Gender equality.
It's a lie.
So you should just believe that if a man can beat a woman, then a woman can also beat a man.
No.
I feel a woman can beat a man better.
No, you're not getting my point. I'm trying to speak for the men here, because if it's going to be hard for you to believe that the woman actually beats the man, then you're being biased. Yeah. Because if you're a feminist and you claim that what a man can do, you can do, meaning that if a man can beat you, you can also beat the man.
Better.
You see, if you look at the Western world or other jurisdiction, you touching a woman is a serious offense. And I think he looked at that and decided not to do anything to the woman. Because even if you touch the international female of lawyers or something, if you touch a woman, they can hold serious case against you. Yeah. So I think he relied on that and decided not to touch the woman.
Okay. See, on this note, let's give our last point on this matter about this marriage, and then women being they're putting women first when it comes to marriages and all that. Let's give our last point on that. I want to start on MBB first.
Yeah, with me, I think the women, they should put an effort in building the family, the family with, like, in terms of the properties and other, so that when there's issues like this, they can also fight for percentages. With that one, we will support. Everyone will support. When a lady is like a woman is a hard-working lady, the society will see. Yeah. So with this kind of things, nobody will complain when you are fighting for, let's say, a percentage of the properties.
Okay.
So speaking more generally and also from a personal perspective, dear ladies, if you don't know how the empire was built, don't lay claims to it.
Okay.
If you are not a part of it being built, then you don't have a right to it. But if you know that you were involved as well, fair enough. You can fight for what is yours.
Okay, so
Article 22, Clause 3B
That's right.
of the 1992 Constitution. Article 22, Clause 3B of the 1992 Constitution. It says that properties can only be shared if they are jointly acquired. Jointly acquired. Then that one you can go for your share of the property. If so, it tells you that individual can acquire their properties in marriages. So if the properties are not jointly acquired, don't go for it, because at the end of the day, you are going to lose the case. if there is no evidence to prove that you contributed one substantially domestically, or you even engage yourself in making that property, then you'll be at the losing end, because laws evolve, as I said, and there is no concrete law indicating that you should get your 50-50 share, as you may be thinking. And if you are a woman and you think that the law is always on your side in terms of sharing of property, I beg you, change your mind.
Okay, so we beg you, change your mind. This has been Frenzy 100 podcast, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Charlie, like as usual, if you want more, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Cool TV, and then you will enjoy more videos as usual. Comments, don't forget that. Add more comments, put down your comments. Anything you want us to discuss about, just put it down there, and then we'll attend to that. My name, that's Breba, aka Papi.
Kali F baby.
AJ.
And Sam will say,
yes, we'll catch you on the flip side. Bye bye.